You guys all know that Adult Swim sign-off bumble, the dawn is your enemy, right? There's a reason they don't show it anymore. The last day the bump was used as a sign-off. Instead of the normal running time of an estimated 9 seconds, it ran for an extended period of time until the automated services were overtaken by manual operation. We all know the sound that shook our childhoods, or teen years. The resounding metal, the rumbles, the sound of metal scraping against metal. Feel free to look it up if you're feeling a bit rusty. Now, when y'all hear cuts, it doesn't sound complete. Not finished, not over. The people at Adult Swim were purposely cutting off the rest of the sound, and for good reason. The following is the exact reason why you'll never see this bumble ever again. Once again, it supposedly only runs for about 9 minutes. This is a rough transcript of the usual audio. Resounding metal, followed by rumble, followed by scraping metal, and another rumble, and bumble. So, what could you put together with that? Nothing rings a bell, right? Exactly. The part that they use was utilized effectively to scale off children that will still tune in to Adult Swim. It even gives adults goosebumps because it's that good. It closely rivaled with the Hammer Clanks and the William Street production card in terms of nightmare fuel. Getting back on topic, usually a Cartoon Network employee would enter the control room left by an Adult Swim crew member and take over for the day. It wasn't quite the case that day, however. The usual man scheduled to cue the sign-on and such programming for Cartoon Network for some reason did not start for the day. No one knows if this was done on purpose or whether or not this person's contract was terminated. This was the least of the problems Turner Broadcasting would have to deal with at the time. What followed the common 9 seconds was an extended 2-minute broadcast of some of the most horrifying audio ever heard on public television. The metal continued to resonate, and the scraping continued. Slowly, an uncontrollable sobbing became clearer. Not only one person was crying, but a multitude of people were screaming and yelling. As the metal scraped, the screaming grew louder. Soon, you could hear the scraping of flesh, the grinding of bones, the gushing of blood, and the guttural death rattles of people dying. All across the United States, millions of children and adults were being exposed to what sounded like a ballistic mass murder. People were calling it all across the country, crying or screaming or begging for it to be turned off. Something kept their eyes attached to the screen, kept them listening to the broadcast. People assumed the control room was finally gone into, and the bump was shut down, ending a traumatic experience no one could forget. In the last few moments, as the resonating man grew into an unbearable volume, the channel showed the peaking sun winking at the viewer, and then the channel cuts the bars and tones. How was Turner Broadcasting going to cover this up? No one knows their exact tactic to this day. Multiple theories have been thought up, ranging from a preemptive cease and desist to news articles to subliminal viewer hypnosis over the following weeks. Whatever their tactic was, it worked. No one ever mentioned the incident ever again after that fateful day, and it all but faded from memory. While public evidence does not officially exist, Cartoon Network officials do acknowledge a hijacking of the channel's frequency on that day, but go into no further detail. All late-night bumps, including the Dawn is Your Enemy bumper, will replace with the corresponding ones from the 1:30 a.m. time slot. Word is, however, that somewhere, hidden in an onion site, accessible only via Tor, is a recording of the bump played that morning. The question asked the most among the few who remember this is, where did Adult Swim get the audio in the first place?